Hi, welcome everybody. Okay, we are waiting just 2 more minutes so that people keep connecting, and then we'll start with the meeting. Thank you everyone for being here. Okay, so it is 4:05, so we're gonna kick off our info day of the Prime Open Call. So first of all, welcome everybody. Thanks so much for making the time to be here with us today. We have a really big registration list, and we're really happy about that. My name is Estefania. I am a communication manager at InfoDay. I am part of Prime, and I am the one who's leading the communications. The day it will go, like the info day will go a little bit like this. We're gonna make a short presentation of Prime. Afterwards, we're gonna hear a really small presentation also from each one of the living labs with the specific areas and specific focus. In this moment is the time that you make notes so that we can make all the questions at the end. And after hearing the living labs, we will hear Julia to tell us a little bit about how the planning processes, the application processes. What do you need? What do you need to have into account? And this. And then at the end, the last 45, 30 minutes, we're going to have a Q&A session, which is one of the most important parts of our webinar today, where we want to hear you guys. So this session is recorded. I know in the Q&A we can you can in the chat start asking your questions, and if you want your mic to be open, just let me know. If you want your camera to be open, be aware that we are recording. So if you give me permission, I can open your camera so that your face appears on the screen. It is really important because we are gonna have this recording shared after the webinar. Okay. So to start our info day, we're gonna have the presentation of the Prime project overview with our really beautiful person, Emma.
Yes. So I will tell you a little bit about Prime in general so that you know what we're doing, okay? And then hopefully understand better why the open call and why do we need you as well to be involved in the project. So the PRIMED project is a European funded project consisting of 13 partners that most of us are here today as well to help answer your questions from 8 different countries. And these 13 parties partners include these 5 living labs in which we're doing the validations and in which you can apply to be part of as well. The main goal of PRIMED is to co-create innovative forms of cooperation to integrate the whole value chain, and so from the primary producers to the industry or the end user, the SME, and so on, in novel bioeconomy value chains with a multi-actor approach with an open access knowledge hub. So involving all the different stakeholders in this value chains to co-create the solution and the business model. So the second main goal is to develop these circular business models in bioeconomy to produce high value bio-based products through the advanced biorefineries in the 5 living labs that I showed you in the map. So more specific objectives are to demonstrate these bio-based processes in the biorefineries in the 5 living labs, to characterize these processes and the impact they have, and to build these circular business models around them with the help of all stakeholders involved in the value chain. Of course, also gather these lessons learned in order to be able to do policy recommendation and to be able to exploit these results that we will achieve. And also creating a collaborative ecosystem for circular business model co-creation and establishing framework conditions to work all together and to be able to replicate this in the region where the living labs are established, but also in other regions. So the PRIMED ecosystem will demonstrate the circular business models in collaborative ecosystem to accelerate bioeconomy through social innovation. So co-creating these circular business models and governance models with a multidimensional stakeholder approach, providing access to specialized technology providers and radically new disruptive technologies and innovations, and supporting the whole supply chain and the logistics of these new innovations and this bio-based value chain, and also providing financial and technical capacity support and replicable and sustainable business models for attracting investment and implement systemic changes that cut across different sectors and create these synergies and symbiotic relationships, and also overcoming this poor public acceptance that usually also this value chains face. In PRIMED, these 5 living labs are demonstrating different technological processes from different types of biomass. That this is a general summary, but we have different biomasses in each living lab that we are trying to valorize. So forestry, agri-food, livestock, fisheries, and industry. And we want to valorize these biomass resources into different bio-based products. So also you will have seen probably that each living lab is focusing on a different bio-based product. It can be biogas, biochar, biofertilizers, biomaterials, food, cosmetics, and biomaterials. This is super general, but afterwards we will tell you a bit more specifically on each living lab what they're doing. And as more transversal activities, what we want to demonstrate in these 5 living labs, it's not only this valorization process of the biomass into these bio-based products, but we want to validate these bio-based products with the end users and do the techno-economic assessment and to build a business plan and to do the assessment of the social and environmental impact in each living lab. So the quick overview of what we're doing in each living lab. I will not go into a lot of detail because now they will explain you in better what they're doing. But as you can see, each living lab of the 5 is valorizing a different type of biomass. and they have a different innovative technology to process this biomass and to obtain a different bio-based product in the end. The objectives of the open call, we will do 2 open calls. One is now in 24, and we will open it. We will open another one in 2025. And I would say the 2 main objectives are co-creating these innovative business models with the value chain stakeholders and validating these high-value bio-based products that are being developed in the different living labs with the end users. And also the things that this open call, or we're trying to fund in this open call, it will depend a lot on the different or the needs of the living labs specifically, but it can be different services, different processes, depending on the living lab. So it can be like laboratory analysis, it can be market analysis, it can be more like logistics and value chain, it can be more like engineering support, and it can also be legal and financial and IP services as well. So I will leave it a bit general, and then in each living lab, we will see more in detail what are the needs there. And then in the questions also, we can go in more detail into more specific examples maybe of what can be funded. The timeline, the open call opened in June, and it will be open until the end of September, so a couple more weeks left. During October, we will evaluate all the applicants and select them in November. And in December, we plan to have the contracts closed with these end users and start the project in January 2025. So that's a quick summary. And now I will leave the floor to the different living labs that they can explain you a bit more what they're doing. So I think we will start with Living Lab 1, which is based in Alcaraz, in Lleida, in the region of Catalonia in Spain. So I think Alex hopefully is here.
Yeah. Hello, Emma.
Hi, perfect.
Here.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. First of all, sorry because I cannot switch on my camera, but well, I will try it. Hello to everyone. First of all, I would like to present a little bit about the company and our project. Alcaraz was born from the collaboration of 150 families, more or less, of farmers with the growing need to properly manage all the waste generated, specifically biomass in the form of slurry and manure. It's currently managing the composting plant, but we are expanding the production in phases with the construction of 2 biomethane digesters. If you can change the slide, maybe. The first one is almost finished, but the idea of the project is to manage this biomass and to valorize all the products that can come out of the process, thus maximizing the circular economy. Some of the outputs we have as direct products or byproducts are energy, methane, ammonium sulfide, digestate, or low-level nitrogenous water, for example. And the idea is from this valorization of products, we have to develop the biopolygon around us, those closing the cycle of bioeconomy. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Our next lab is the Biosilica lab in Portugal.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mariana, and today I will present you the Biosilica lab. So I will start with a small introduction about CENTI. CENTI is the Center for Nanotechnology and Advanced Materials. We are a private non-profit organization with a multi-sectoral orientation, and we are equipped with cutting-edge technology. Our main goal is to develop and to validate new materials and also value-added technologies that can then be later incorporated into traditional products, processes, and markets. We have a solid know-how in the field of nanotechnology, biotechnology, and surface engineering, as well as in the synthesis and modification of nanoparticles. We also have a strong expertise in the valorization of residues, so establishing a living lab dedicated to produce silica particles from agriculture and forestry biomass was a natural progression. Can you please change the slide? Thank you. So the production of these particles is straightforward. We start with agroindustrial biomass, which is then converted into ash, and this ash is processed to extract silica particles. These particles can then be used directly as additives, or they can undergo further modification in order to impart specific properties. We can produce around 400 grams of non-modified particles per batch and between 200 and 500 grams of modified particles, depending on the property that we are targeting. Currently, we are focusing on 3 properties, which are hydrophobicity, flame retardancy, and antimicrobial activity. You have some examples here in these images. In the first one, there's an hydrophobic textile, for example. For the flame retardancy, you can also see the behavior of a textile that was exposed to a flame. And after 30 seconds, you can see that the control textile burns completely, while the textile coated with the modified particles has a reduced burnt area. For the antimicrobial activity, you can see that the bacteria growth when in contact with non-modified particles is reduced. The bacteria grows when in contact with the control particles, and this growth is not observed for the modified silica. These are the properties that we are currently focusing on, but we are open to explore and address new functional properties for these silica particles. Regarding the target sectors, these particles have the potential to replace synthetic silica particles across different industries, such as the automotive sector, textiles, construction, upholstery, among many others. So this was a very brief overview of Scientific Living Lab, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to address them at the end. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marianne. So for the next, if we go to the next slide, we are going to present lab number 3, living lab number 3. Pietro Di Marino, it's going to be our.
Okay.
Pietro, you have the room.
Okay, thank you. It's so the living lab from Liguria. It's quite different from the other presented models. I mean that it's more spread along the regional territory, not really at present, not really focused on specific technology but of course what we are trying to organize at Liguria region is to connect all the main actors involved in is bio and circular bio-product process, and at present we are quite sensitive number of actors from academia, government, industry and logistic, natural resources, primary producer, farmer, agricultural cooperative as well, and raw material providers. And we are working in connecting all these actors in order to develop and support. Next slide, please. It's to support and to capitalize all the best practice and experience that we are running in Liguria region through different EU-funded projects, which the main one is eco-efficient. It's an innovation action on food, and so based on fish mainstream and conversion in the new bioproducts. So this, of course, will give a market opportunity for all the economic system, all the actors play, or all the players, and of course, network opportunity. And we will try to provide all the company, all the actors interested in developing the new and to test new bioproducts, all the networks linked with the main networks already established through the project Ecoefficient, but other projects, Circular City and Region Initiative, Knowledge Lab, local with the city networks, and other actors working in like a technological pole working on these new topics. Next slide. Of course, we are starting from two basic line value chain of activity, which are mainly to capitalize what we are developing under Ecoefficient project. Ecoefficient project, as I say, it's an innovative action financed by Horizon Europe, and with 6 different value chain from fish to food, from fish to soil, cosmetics, fish to pack, fish to soil improvement. So, and with different kind of the final bio products, food supplement, insect oil, and chitin, for example, ingredient for skincare products, biofilm for a new level of food packaging, and any other type of soil improver. So we are in this phase. We are testing new kind of facilities for fish processing side stream, but even for bioconversion of, for example, through rearing insect black soldier flies as well. So this will be the first value chain which we are developing. A second one is more linked with other expertise which are really strong in our regional ecosystem from, for example, the Italian Institute of Technology, which are developing new solution for new biodegradable films and bioplastic products. So that's it. Of course, it's our role as FILSE, which is the financial institution of the Liguria region, is mainly the orchestrator, the facilitator of these networks of expertise. And so please feel for those who will be interested to apply to the call, final end user, producer, industry, feel free to speak with us, and in order to be connected and to be supported in any kind of service they need for development, circular solution in their product value chain. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pedro. Okay, for the next presentation, we have Living Lab 4, BioInri Lab. It is presented by the Irish Bioeconomy Foundation. So you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you. So hello, everyone. I'm Naveen Kumar from Irish Bioeconomy Foundation, based in Republic of Ireland. And it's a moment of pleasure and delight to present my lab to you all. So please change the slide. So Irish Bioeconomy Foundation deals with a lot of European projects, and like I'm closely working with the PRIMED project for Irish Bioeconomy Foundation. So our Irish Bioeconomy Foundation works with different kinds of experiments, and like we collaborate, and we are proud to say we have a huge collaboration among universities, research personnel in academia and industry, and we provide services like training hub, dissemination, SME services, and help startups, to name few of our services. Please change the slide. Now, coming to the PRIMED projects, we are working on few of the feedstocks like dairy waste, food waste, and wood waste. So on the top, you can see the coming pilot plant facility. Over here, we will be dealing with the different kinds of dairy waste and valorize it so we can produce it in the market and make a sustainable and circular bioeconomy in Ireland and rest of the Europe and make the project a success. So now I will be talking about the two different feedstocks we will be using, what we are actually doing. Please change the slide. So now coming to the dairy value chain valorization. So whey permeate or cheese from the dairy industries like are underutilized, and Irish Bioeconomy Team BioLab Living Lab 4 will utilize these whey permeates and biovalorize it through different chemical process like here for fermentation process, and we will obtain different kinds of byproduct from the waste stream. So you can see the different kinds of like biovalorized products we will be producing in this part of the project. And please next. And now coming to the forestry value chain. So other than dairy, we will be working with the different kinds of forestry streams as well as feedstock to generate biochar, which have wide range of application ranging from bioenergy to soil amendment, cosmetic, CO2 sequestration, through the technology of carbonization process. And it will depend the feedstock, different technologies like pyrolysis, gasification, and torrefication. So these all the technologies will be used to valorize and make a bioeconomy of Ireland sustainable in part of this project and bringing out bioproducts with a great techno-economic feasibility. So that was all we do. And please feel free to reach out through our LinkedIn or Irish Bioeconomy website, and Irish Bioeconomy team will be happy to help you and assist you in OpenCall and your startup in any kind of technical or business applications or needs you have. So please feel free to reach out, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ravi. Okay. For the last but not least, lab number 5, Cell Factory Lab, that's going to be presented by BTT. The leader is BTT. And I don't know if she's already here.
It's Anu.
Yeah.
She has the
Oh,
you have to look like
I don't know why you. Okay, so you're a presenter now, Anu. So you can open your microphone and your camera.
Okay, thanks. And sorry if I had the wrong mode
Don't worry.
at the beginning. But hello, I'm Anu Seisto from VTT in Espoo, Finland, and I'll be presenting the Cell Factory Lab today. So we're a research institute in Finland and working with all sorts of different technology applications. And cellular agriculture is something that we've been studying for a long time now. And in this project, we're especially interested in utilizing agri-food waste streams as a feedstock for the plant cell or plant factory in the future, but in this case in a smaller lab scale testing. And we're especially interested in end products that would be in the food and cosmetic sectors. Next slide, please. Yes. So what happens in the living lab is that once a suitable side stream from the agri-food has been selected, there's two possibilities. Either it's a liquid stream or a solid stream, and they both require a little bit different pre-treatments before they can be taken into use. And then after that, there's a plant cell line, a fermenter that will be used for then providing or growing cells that then will be harvested in the next phase and then can be used for testing in different end product purposes. And it's especially the end product purposes that we're very much interested in studying together with companies. Is there a third slide? Yes, exactly. For those who are not so familiar with cellular agriculture, what it means is that there's the cell factory utilizes different kinds of feedstocks. For example, glucose that can come from a side stream. For example, when using potatoes or peas or any other product for food production, there's a side stream that cannot be properly utilized, that is a waste stream from the factory, can then be used for growing the cells in the cell factory. And what we're especially good at doing is studying plant-based products. Then what comes out is a biomass that can be used for different kinds of purposes. And there's also a sort of a division, whether it's cellular products or acellular products. So there can be different kinds of proteins or lipids that are grown, but then the production process is slightly different. I'm not going into details, just showing that there are different ways of producing different biomasses in the cell factory. So we'd be interested in collaborating with companies who would like to experiment what the side streams could be like, what kind of products can come out from the cell factory, and how they could be utilized in different kinds of future products. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so this was the last presentations of our living labs. And now it is the moment to answer the question, how do I apply to this open call? And to answer those really complicated questions, we have Julia. So, Julia, guys, you have the microphone.
Okay, hello everybody.
You can change the next slide.
Okay, so as a PRIMED project, we are looking for small scale projects that wants to develop or test or validate one of our end products that we already explained to you. And therefore, to support them, we are giving a maximum of 50,000 euros to support one of the services that Edma already explained. It is important to know that all this money is going to be for finance these services. So next slide. So if you really want to apply, first of all, you need to check, or you need to know actually, that you are a profit entity within the European member state or an associate country. But we will prioritize the entities that are close to the Living Lab. This is because the project will develop circular business model at regional level. So this is the thing why we are looking for an entity that is next to the Living Lab that you are applying. So if you are interested, what do you need to do is, first of all, you need to check the guidelines that you can find in our websites. Maybe we can, okay, thank you. This is the website from the OpenCall. Then if you want down.
You don't see my screen?
No, yeah, but I'm saying, yeah. Here you have like all the explanation of the OpenCall, and then if you go down, and the services and so on, and the little description of the Living Labs, then you can click. This is the guideline first. It's going slow, but it's going. And then you can click on the download the templates, and it is important to fill it in English. We know that it's maybe a long word or proposal, but please, you can fill the boxes that are more important, and you try to give the more information you can provide to us. Then if there is like any missing information, then we can contact to you. But I think the most important is the Living Lab, which end product are you interested in, the budget estimation, and the services that you want to do. And then we can be in contact. So after this, you need to send to our email that is info@PRIME-project.eu, and you need to submit this by sending to us before the 30th of September. And in Prime Project, we really encourage you to apply for this open call. We think it's a good option and opportunity for you. So now I think we can move to the questions and answers. I think you can raise your hand and then we can go one by one.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the QA session. There is a space in case you want to speak, then please let us know and I'll open your microphone, either microphone or camera, or in the top bar, there is a part that says Q&A, and in there you can also make your questions if you don't want to appear or you don't want your voice to be recorded. This can be a way for us to answer you. So the floor is yours, our guests. So if you have any questions about what we just talked about, if you have any questions of how to apply or any specific field inside of the application form, this is a moment. So I don't know also if the Living Labs, the ones who are leading the Living Labs can turn on their cameras so that people can see you. Okay, so Fluvio, and I guess this means that you want to share, right? So allow your mic. Yes, then. Okay.
Hello, everybody, and thanks for this presentation. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Just one sec, I open my camera. Hi. So I have some very simple questions, I guess. The first is, are you sending a sort of email of, let's say, submission received when we write to info@PRIMEDproject.com, or we will know just later, something like, yes, application received, once we apply?
Once you apply, you'll get a mail with our thank you for applying and that the submission is done.
Okay, so yes, okay, thank you. Second question is regarding tables, graphics, images. Can we include those ones within the application, or you prefer, or like tables, or you prefer everything is made? Because, for example, for budget, for example, or for images, or what we do, or what we could do, I was wondering to know if, okay, let's start from the budget. The budget should be in a table, or do you prefer a paragraph, let's say, with the bullet points or something like that?
It is a flexible document. You can put as much images as you want to, and we encourage you to present it in the best possible way. So if the budget looks better in the table that explain, yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, in that case, of course, the table won't be counted in the number of words, right? Just the word within the table will be counted, because there's a limit of number of words for each paragraph I read.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Okay, thank you. And now if you can go through an explanation of, but maybe because I really am not very well prepared on that, on indirect costs, and if you can explain a little bit more own resources, these 2 points of the budgets, if I may ask. to explain to me again. I'm sorry, but I prefer to have an extra explanation of what does you are expecting to us to insert in those two boxes.
Hey, yes, so
Thank you.
I will try to help you with this. The indirect costs, so is it something that you want to add, or that is in that you think you need to add?
I mean, generally in European project, you have also these.
I thought so. Yeah, so this is a bit different. So basically, the indirect costs go to the PRIMED project, let's say. But this is like kind of like, it's called cascade funding. So we are this 50,000 do not include indirect costs, or which is the other category that you said? Sorry.
The first one was indirect costs, so your answer is not included. So
No,
we
so you
do
don't
not
need to include indirect
okay.
costs in your budget. No.
It's just a 50K and that's it. Okay, understood. Yes. And then own resources of the company. If you can explain a little bit more, what does it mean to the own resources that the company should consider in this submission?
So in case you also would need to put your own resources, if the, let's say if the 50K don't cover the whole budget, let's say, but you can also prepare the budget that it goes up to 50K. And if with that you can do the activities that you plan to do, then you would not need to include any own resources, if I understand your question correctly. Yeah.
So you mean that are resources of the company that will be in the project, let's say, added, but to the 50K, and you would like to know more, you want a detail of these own resources, right? Just to evaluate if the project is more feasible if we put own resources on the project. Am I right?
Yeah, so only if there will be the need and which resources, but this depends a lot on the project that each applicant is preparing. So it might be the case that you don't need to put any own resources.
I was wondering, especially regarding the equipment, because let's say 50K are in case I guess in all application we will need equipment. Of course 50K it's not such a big budget, so yeah, I guess that of course we have to put in own resources in terms of equipment, so they won't be in the 50K. Okay, they will be in the company own resources. Am I right?
Exactly. So now I think I understand your question better. So of course, I don't think the 50K are planned to buy equipment, but more that the end user will use their own equipment, and this 50,000 euros can cover more, maybe like consumables or any materials that you need to do this test in your own equipment. Of course, if the equipment can be included in this 50,000 because it's not. Depends on the equipment a lot, of course, it can be included as well. But yeah, so if you need to use your own equipment, and it's also nice that you can explain, but this is more like in the description of the project, like explain, okay, we have this technology or this equipment we will use to validate whatever ingredient, bio-based ingredient or one of your products. And then in the budget include more the consumables or the materials you need to do this test.
Okay, thank you.
I hope this answers your question.
Yes, thank you. Thank you a lot.
You're welcome.
Okay, we do have a question in the Q&A. Can companies apply for a project when Living Lab is in their own country? Yeah, yes, you can. And it is encouraged. It's a good point. Like if the Living Labs are close to the test, the end user, it is encouraged. It is actually preferable. Any other questions?
Some more in the chat.
Oh, people are asking in the chat. Oh, okay.
Well, no, in the Q&A.
Valeria from Kilse. I have a question to clarify the budget composition. Please, can you say as the categories admitted in the budget, for example, personal cost, consumable, travels, which are the categories that the beneficiary can include in the budget?
Yeah, so it's not like you have to include these categories, and in principle, any category can be included as long as it's up to 50,000 euros. Any activity can be covered. Travels, for example, I think it's a bit weird, but if it makes sense in the project and it's actually needed to do this validation, it could be included. But it's not like you really have to put mandatory travel and consumables and personnel and so on. It's more what makes sense for the project. Sorry to make it so general, but it depends a lot on each company applying and the project that they want to validate. But in theory, different cost categories can be funded, but it has to make sense and it has to be a need of the project and the validation in order that we can approve it. So if it's well justified, it should be okay.
Does that answer your question? Okay, so I have Maria Deseada. You have your microphone and your camera available, yes.
Yes, thank you. I have one question for Alcaraz, the first Living Lab. Yes, I would like to clarify if our approach or what we consider about our idea of the project could fit with what you're expecting from us, because we think that we can apply in two different ways. On one hand, we can test your processes, or on the other hand, we can test your products. So it's two different approaches. This is right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Okay, wait. There or no?
So could you hear my question?
Yeah, I could hear it.
Okay,
I just don't know if. Alex, can you hear it? Did you hear the question? I mean, your microphone is closed, so I'm not sure if you heard it. I'm sorry, Maria, then can you repeat your question so maybe we could get an answer?
Yeah, yes. So we understood that we can participate in two different approaches. On the one hand, we can test your processes, or we can test your product, your bio-based product. This is right in the case of Alcaraz too?
Yes. Okay. And in the case of Alcaraz, I mean, what would you mean for the process? Like, so they have an anaerobic digestion plant. So if it's there, so you would like to try a feedstock or an input, or I mean, maybe if you explain a bit more what you're thinking about, then we can help you. But yeah, in principle, you can test the process or their end product. Yeah.
Okay. So in our company, we have also biogas plants, and we would be interested in new processes for the treatment of the products that the output of this, specifically of the liquid fraction of this process. So we think that we could fit in this call if this is the idea. But if the idea is that we should test your bioproducts, we are not so sure, because we are also maybe in the same in the same stage than Alcaraz. We have biomass plants, and we are producing this kind of bioproducts. So this is our main doubt, to know if we can be aligned, if our proposal can fit, or if you if you're expecting from us to test those, I don't know, fertilizers or other kind of products that you can produce.
I think for the very few that you have said, Maria, it looks like it's aligned and it could be in the scope, yes, of the open call.
Yeah. Okay. So we can send some kind of well, we can explain more specifically, so you can say no, it doesn't fit, or not. We can write some words or not.
Yes, sure. You
Sorry.
can. Oh yeah.
Sorry, Emma, I am here.
Hi, Alex. Yes.
Yeah, I think I hear a little bit of what you were talking about. If you want my contact or something, and we will talk and discuss whatever he wants to talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will put my mail in the chat.
Perfect.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
Is that okay, Maria, or you want to ask any other question?
That's all. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Julia is answering the questions that we are getting in the Q&A, but still, if anyone else, okay, Simona, give me a second, I'll give it to you. Okay, Simona, you have your camera activated and your microphone.
Hi everybody, I'm from Genova. My question is this one. The company interested in the project is a small fisherman's cooperative that does not have financial resources. It can provide spaces, raw materials, and personnel, but cannot face upfront expenses. So is the value of the financial paid in advance or after the event? Because the proposal must come from a company with financial resources, or this case is possible to apply?
It's paid in advance.
Okay, because we would like to buy a prototype. Yeah. Okay. Our focus is to buy a prototype and test it. So.
Okay, what is the budget for that?
Could be close to 50.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds. I mean, also consider then to run the test and so on, you will need some more budget, I guess. But yeah, sounds interesting.
It would be possible. So we could buy it, and okay. Yes, we can after have more question during the writing of the test. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? I think Julia has been answering a few questions. I don't know if anyone has the same questions that are in the Q&A. So if you want to take a look over there, it's fine. If anyone else would like to directly ask any of us or any of the representatives of the Living Labs, please just raise your hand. And I mean, the last one I got, it was from 9 minutes ago. So I don't know if anyone else have any other questions. Okay, Natalia, give me a second. And your camera and your microphone is allowed.
Yeah, I think, Natalia, you asked the question in the chat, but I think we didn't quite understand it. So yeah, if you don't mind, you can explain a bit more. You are on mute. I don't know if you're talking.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
My question is if a supplier can be chosen all around the living lab, or so I mean, we are in Italy. Can we be chosen as a supplier just from Filse, or also another living lab can choose us as a testing laboratory? Because we offer a technology which is unique, so there is no other companies all around offering this kind of.
And you think it would be interesting for more than one of the living labs?
Could be. It could be, because we can test bio-based products, food compounds, or cosmetics one, and so
Or
they
what
can
what exactly can you test?
A compound, a food product, or a cosmetic product, which comes from a bio-based upcycling ingredients, or coming from the processes you are talking about.
Okay, so I mean, I think there's only 2 living labs that have food and cosmetics.
Yeah.
No, it's PTT and Filse, yeah.
Yeah.
So in theory, yes, it would be possible, but it has to be, yeah, like a project that makes sense for the
Yeah,
two
of course.
of them, yeah. And also in case, so to be completely honest, we want to check different things, right? So if one living lab is working with you to validate with you and to test with you your technology, or yeah, then probably it would be more interesting for us that the other living lab is doing something different. But in theory, it would be possible. But I think for us, it's more interesting to do different things in each living lab.
Okay, thank you.
But you can definitely apply, and I think when it's written, it will help us understand better what you do and see the potential. If it's only a small budget, maybe it can be included in 2 of them. But yeah, we will need to analyze further. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Natalia. Anyone else have any other questions? Okay, I'll give you 1 minute just in case you get shy.
And sorry, Naveen again from IBF. Just to use this 1 minute break, I would like to convey a message to Com. You are very interesting questions, and I think the thing you are looking for, we closely work with that. So please reach us to IBF team through our LinkedIn or the web page, and we will ask coordinators to provide you the email. We would be happy to chat you more about it and your technology. We would love to learn about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. I see there's people already leaving, so if no one else have any other questions, this is your last chance. Otherwise, we will like to close this InfoDay. No. Okay. Well, I think this has been great. I hope everybody got the answers that they needed, and if you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to reach us out. You have here the mail info prime /project.eu, or in any of our social media. We are in Facebook, we are in X. Please follow us. We tend to update everything about what the PRIME project is doing, and also we will let everybody know about the next open call that we're going to. Sorry, my microphone left, but thank you very much, everyone. Have a really nice afternoon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.